All right, hey guys, we're gonna talk about 10 movements that everybody who is retired and has more time on their hands to reclaim their physical freedom should be doing. Number one is the bodyweight squat. And the point of the movements that I'm gonna share with you are that they are easy to regress and progress. Everything today is about body weight, and even from there, they can be regressed to partial range of motion, assisted range of motion, assisted squat. Sometimes you might have someone helping you, sometimes you might need to use an object as a stabilizer. Feel free to be creative in that regard. So, squat, body weight squat. Starting just outside shoulder width, feet aimed slightly outwards. I'm going to tuck the pelvis in and sit down as if I'm sitting into a chair, but not flopping back into the chair. Goal is to go as low as possible. Number two, split squat. So that was a bilateral, double-sided movement. Now we're going to do a single-sided movement. Split squat can be done in a short stance or a long stance. I'm a big fan of the long stance because we can go knees over toes and use that glute for hip extension in the back. Do the other side here. Obviously, for a long stance, I have to start with that back foot further back. Number three, reverse step up. So reverse step up can be done on a low step, such as this, where I'm 3 or 4 inches off of the original height. I'm going to keep the hips tucked under, lean my body weight back, and use that knee extension in the quad to step back up. Same control on the way down. Weight over the back, step up. Same control on the way down. I don't want to flop down. I want to reach for the ground with that bottom foot. And I can also do it on a higher surface. See if the stone is stable. So such as this, good example, too high and I can't push off, so I can give it a little jump. In that case, it's too high. So yeah, I recommend finding somewhere in between something that's too low and not challenging enough, and then something that's too high. Your set of steps in your house is probably a great average to start on. There we go. A little tip here, you can start by just backwards walking up the stairs and then walking back down with control. All right, on to the next one. Straight leg deadlifts. All right, so straight leg deadlifts are pretty straightforward. Straight legs, knees locked. For this, you know, when you flex your quads, you're gonna drive your knees out into straight as much as you can. The next position initiator is stick the butt back. I want you to actually imagine rolling the hips out and back, arch your back, let your belly button come forward, and we're going to sit the butt back much as we can. I have more flexibility, you might have less. Come all the way down and reverse the movement, squeezing the butt at the top. If you have a little bit of weight in your hands, that's just fine. Keep your chest up, aim your belly button towards the ground. What we don't want to see is this. That's Jefferson curl for another video. Today we're doing straight leg deadlifts. Next, hanging. All right, hanging is a simple movement that can be done outside, on a tree branch, on a swing set, on a pull-up bar, or on a door frame, something as simple as on a door frame. You can usually get a pull-up bar at Walmart or online for $10. Set it in your door frame and then hang. At first you might just hang and you might use your feet to assist in a door frame like that if you don't have the grip strength to hold on. Over time, you want to go from a dead hang to an active hang. Then you can alternate between the two. Next is a push-up plank. A push-up plank is reasonably simple because all you need is the ground in front of you. Start on your hands and knees, shoulders over the hands, pointer fingers forward, hands splayed on the floor. From here you're going to tuck your tail under, tuck your hips under, push away from the floor and the shoulders. Then you're going to step your feet out into a push-up plank position. When you start to fatigue and sag and really have to struggle, maybe you do some shaking, let it go, give yourself a rest, and come back to center and reset. Next is the side bend. Side bend is another straightforward movement because all we need is the floor in front of us. Now you'll see I'm standing shoulder width, and all I'm going to do is tuck my hands to my sides, right on the hip bones, and I'm going to flex to the side. I'm leading with the lower shoulder, and I should, if I'm doing this right, begin to feel a stretch on the opposite side. It helps. You can aim to touch the ear to the shoulder on the lower side. We want to avoid kind of twisting or twisting back or rotating at the hips. Next is shoulder extension. Shoulder extension is also quite easy, and we do this in something called a reverse bridge. As progression number one, we sit on the floor, on our butt, feet in a bent knee position. I'm going to turn my hands to 45 degrees and put them just behind the hips. All I'm going to do from here is squeeze the butt and drive the hips up towards the sky, keeping my arms straight the whole way, as high as I can go. If you only get to right here, that is fantastic. All you need to do is make sure you're getting towards your end range, keeping your glutes engaged and your arms straight. Push higher with time. Next, starting from the same position, we're going to do the sitting V. This is a core exercise, and it's an isometric core exercise. So we're going to sit back, lift the feet off the floor. First progression is use the hands to stabilize yourself. Lift the feet off the floor. You might get hip flexor cramps, you might get leg cramps. Shake those out. Try and start again. Avoid rounding the back excessively or arching the back excessively. You want to be in a neutral position. Core engaged, so you should poke your belly and feel that your core is engaged. Lift your feet off the ground, and the next is going to be lift the hands off the ground. Fantastic. Last movement is prone position on the floor. Prone position is as simple as laying belly on the floor, relaxed at first. Then from here, we're going to spread the legs a little bit to begin in a small straddle, hands on the back of the head, or hands on the floor to assist yourself in pressing upwards. So we want to use the low back as well as the glutes to create a Superman arched position. We want to get to a point where we're lifting hands and feet and our thighs and knees come off the floor, and then eventually you can extend the arms as well. So those are the 10 movements that everybody in their retirement should at least begin with and do as often as possible. They will keep you mobile, flexible, healthy, and happy. They will keep you performing at your best, and at the very minimum, they are bodyweight movements that promote blood flow, health, happiness, and movement. So go outside, do them in the park, do them in your lawn. Let me know in the comments below if you think it's too simple. If you want to add weight to the movements, go for it. If you liked the video, please drop a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell for more notifications for future videos. I'll see you in the next one.